Yeah, you can see my screen, right? So
Mm.
these are the topics we'll cover. Do you know the topics, right? For the SAP ABAP, the data dictionary.
No, I don't know data dictionary of ACP.
Okay, okay, I will tell you. So SAP is nothing but an integrated module along with. So data dictionary, we have to create a table, database table, right? Do you know the
Yeah.
database table? Yeah.
Yes, I know.
So yeah, so in the database tables, we are having master data like SDMM, where they are going to store their data in the table. So we have to first create a tables for that. So that's why
Yeah.
we are going for the data dictionary.
Okay.
In data dictionary,
Yes.
okay, so I will first show you the whatever the topics are there which we are going to cover. First is data dictionary, then internal tables, then modularization techniques, then reports, then modulable programs, then object oriented ABAP. It's same like your object oriented programming, C, C++,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
Then
All right.
BDCs, yeah, and then SAP scripts, then smart forms, meant in cross applications and RFC, that is remote function call. You will get to know all the things. I will cover
Okay.
all the things. Yeah. So we'll go for the first ABAP. What is ABAP? It is the Advanced Business Application Programming coding language which we are going to use for the ACP, right?
Mm.
So ABAP is space sensitive, not case sensitive. If you are seen as a C, C++ and in Java, it is case sensitive, means you have to write in a case in one go, or we can say, or in one capital letters or small letters. But in ABAP, it is not like that. You can write anything here, like you are
Okay.
writing your English. Yeah, means
Okay.
it is
Capital
only
or small letter, it is not problem.
no, no, it is not happening here. You can write in small, you can write in capital, everything is possible here. Okay.
Okay.
So every above statement must be terminated with a period dot. Means if I am considering, so I will put a dot here. So same statement like use in above. So if you have to write any message into the above programming. Hi, welcome. So you have to put it at a period dot, as you can see in my screen, right? So
All right.
message in ABAP must be enclosed with single quotations. So as you can see, the message you have to write, it is in single quotations. You are having a SAP server access.
Yes.
Okay, I have not installed it. I will ask. We'll complete the theory part today, and we'll do the practical part tomorrow.
Okay.
Means how it is going. Okay,
Okay, no problem.
means at least okay. So whatever I will telling you right now, we'll do it practically tomorrow in your ACP server, so that you can also get to know about the process, right?
Mm.
So as you can see here, you have to write a code
Yeah.
like here. You can see the syntax, write message variable. So write welcome. So output will be your welcome. So you have to go to creating your SAP app. You need to go to AC38 T code. T code is nothing but your transaction codes, which you are executing into your SAP login pad. You understood my accent or language, right?
I understand. I understand.
Okay, so we have to go to T code called AC38. In you have to give your report name, start
Yes.
with Z or Y. Your name should start with Z or Y.
Mm-hmm.
Like report Z test. It is an example, right? Report your Z test. Okay, create button. It will show a pop up. Okay, you have to title your report. Suppose Z test material. Okay, order something like that. You will save. You can take the report, and every time you have to activate your program. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to create a program using AC38T code. as I said, in which you
Mm.
can have to declare variables, then you have to declare a type. After that, if you want to create an output and see, so for creating an output, you have to do like this, write India. So you can see like this, blank lines also you can perform in that case. So these are the various keywords which we are using in SAP ABAP modify our output, right? Means
Okay.
suppose I want to give an a space. So various keywords like if you want to give an a space between your name, between your output, or you want then output in next line. So these are the various keywords we are using. So one by one, I will tell you these keywords in our practical sessions.
Yes.
Okay, so like this skip. Skip is the statement to generate multiple blank lines. In skip n. If you want to, you can see the output here. Skip and how much space you want to skip it. Means I want to skip two lines. So n is your number. So skip two. So it will skip your two lines. So likewise
All
your
right.
output will, you can modify your output using color. Means you have to give a color, right? Red, yellow. Okay, so there
Okay.
is an ID. For each color, there is an ID. Suppose a user requires an output in colorful mode. Okay, means they have you have calculated an amount by using some summation. So in some summation total amount you have to highlight that one by using yellow. So you can add color over there. Means so that user can understood easily
Mm,
that
yes.
this is the total. Yeah. So these are the various keywords we are using. Okay. So
Mm.
psi u line is your underline. Underline of means if user wants some underline, some words underline. Okay, so means your name and below that your underline. So you
Mm.
can put an keyword psi u line. So by
Mm.
doing the practice things, you will get to know these things. Psi u line, psi v line, put an a horizontal line, put an a okay.
Okay. Please, I have question.
Yeah, yeah, go.
Color. It is not the name. We don't write the name. We write number.
Color, yes, yes, color.
We are supposed
In
to
color,
have
right?
7 colors.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. We don't write green or red or yellow. We write
No,
the
no,
number.
no, no. Yeah, we write in a number. Here you can see the color ID from 1 to 7. So
Oh, yes.
there is no red, green, yellow. You have to write a
Uh,
number only.
okay.
And this is the syntax. Message, variable, color ID, inverse. So your welcome will be color. Colored means I think 5 is maybe yellow color. Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll see this in practical, which color it will give. Okay,
Okay.
no gap is the option to avoid single character gap between multiple messages. Sometimes the user wants output like there is no gaps in your wording or statement. So
Mm.
you can use the no gap keyword there. So it will be no gap. The name is at itself saying that no gap between your words or statement. Okay. Then the main part is in SAP, there is date and time. Date and time is very important. Okay, so you have to always keep in mind that psi datum and psi used AIT. It will be your date and time. This is the main statements, or we can say the main fields in SAP. It will give your system current date and system current time. Okay, and you have to use this in your report, in your all the ABAP object, because there are so many countries which means almost all the countries using SAP. So according to their country timing zone, it decided what SAP systems time and date. So that's why you have to keep in mind that these are the fields which you have to use in your creating a database, creating a report, all the things. Okay.
All right.
All right. Hotspot on, I think I will not tell you this right now because when I will tell you the report, then I will tell you this hotspot on because it will used in reports only. So the significance of this hotspot on, I will tell you in the while creating a report. Okay. we'll start with the data dictionary first. So we need to create a table for ACP master. Okay, so table, as you know, though it is the collection of rows and columns. Means as your background from C, C++, so database tables you have might be created, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is in these tables you are having fields, right? Suppose employee, student name, student ID, student address, student mobile number. These are the fields in database table, right? And you are creating a record for that. Suppose student, he's having a one name, and second student having also same name, but differentiate them is their mobile number or their addresses. That is the way we are creating a table also here in SAP. Likewise, you are creating a table in C, C++ or Java. Okay.
Okay.
But do you have any questions so far? Means any questions?
Not
You
yet.
can.
I don't have question.
Okay, you can ask me if you have any questions. So you can stop me and ask me the questions, right?
Okay, no problem.
Okay. For creating a table in SAP ABAP, we need to create first fields, and that fields, after the fields, we need to create a domains and the data elements so that we can simply provide the same while creating the table. Means in we cannot simply creating a field and adding it to the table. So for creating a field, we need to first go to the domains and then data elements. Now, what is the domain and data elements? So, suppose student name is having in my table, student name is having a let's say 10 characters. So, where you have to define that 10 characters? So, you have to define that 10 characters in domain. Okay,
Okay.
and suppose if it should not get more than 10 characters, so it will give the message. So where you have to write, so you have to write it in a domain that 10, if it will exceed with the 10 characters, so it will give us a message. So you have to write a domain for that. And then data element. Data element, what is the data element? You have to write a technical name for the field. Suppose student name, I'm not writing a student name fully as a field, but I will write STNAME, means ST student name. So for the description which I have to show in my data record, so I have to write that description in my data element. So
Okay.
after that you have to create a field. So these are the domain and data elements. So for this again you have to go to transaction code. I told you transaction code, for report it is AC38, and for
Mm.
data dictionary it is AC11. Okay,
Okay.
so for each and every object we have to go by this T code, like this AC11, AC38. As a ABAPer, you need to keep in mind these T codes. Okay,
Okay.
go to AC11, select the radio button domain you can see there. Okay, and then click on create. Can you show me your server screen? Can you show that you are having access? I will tell you how to create a table there. We have to create a fields and then domains and data
Yeah.
elements. Yeah, but it's better to show you in a SAP screen, because if I tell you like this, you will not understand what is this. This delivery and maintenance, delivery class, maintenance, table view maintenance type. You don't know anything, right? Means so I have to tell you in a SAP screen. You know the primary key, right? Primary key we are giving into the tables.
Yes, primary keys. I know. Mm.
And foreign key.
Foreign key. Yes.
Foreign key means we are it is an relation between two tables, right?
Yes. Right. We can add is a primary keys of a table which become an attribute in another
Yeah.
table.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So that also we are using here primary key, foreign key relationship between two tables. You have might also work on select queries. Select queries in database tables means
Yes, yes, yes.
select.
Select, create, drop,
Yeah.
insert to alter
Yeah.
table.
Yeah. And modify table,
Yes.
the joins between two tables, inner join, outer join.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. So that also we are going to use here joins for joining the tables
Okay.
in our dip down to the SCP. Means when we dip into going deep into our SCP above, when we are writing a coding. Okay,
Okay.
so then there are very too much. Do you have any questions so far?
I want to know for it is not a big problem. I want to
Mm.
know if after that I will have the document.
Okay, this document.
Yes.
I will try to share this with you.
Okay. I will start to create domain or because when I see
Hmm.
in the table column data element create a data element of ID.
Yes.
You ask me
So
to continue with that element of student name.
yes, name.
When I double click,
Hmm.
which message I supposed to see?
Create a data element first. Did you see that message?
Create a data element. No. When I double click,
Hmm.
I don't see any message.
So what is there?
I say that when I double click, the case is empty. But down, I see object name missing. Enter a name.
You have double click here. See my cursor in my screen.
Yes, I see. It is the same thing like your screen.
Okay. You are seeing that message, right? Object name missing. Enter a name.
Yes, it is that message I see.
No. Click on change button. See my cursor. Change that one. Open in
Okay,
change mode.
okay. Display change.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now what you can see? The blank line.
yes. Okay, I see.
Okay. So now double click on this one again. If it is blank.
It is the same message. I click the same message down. Object name missing. Enter a name.
Same message. Open in
So
change mode. Open in change mode. Like this.
I change. Okay. Z student database table
Yes.
is the name. I change the name. I click to change.
Yeah. Then what you are seeing?
Okay. When I click to change, I see the table. Z stud name, address, mobile, max. And when I double click, it is the same message. My screen
Mm,
is like your screen. Huh? I don't have different.
you are not able to share your screen, right? Let's see this table. Z student. Okay. You can see my screen.
Yes, I see your screen.
Okay. Student ID, name, address, city, and status. So these are the fields. These are the data elements. In the data elements, they have created a domain, character, number of character is 10, value range they have not given, then field label, nothing is there. And now you can check how the database table looks like. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
you need to go here, content, click on
Okay.
content.
I click on technical setting.
No, not technical setting. This one,
Ah,
content.
content.
You can see your fields here, student ID, name, address, city, status. Okay.
Yes, one minute, please.
Yeah.
When I was to the first part about dictionary, database table, that student, I click to display.
Display. Yeah.
Okay, when I click to display, transparent table, that student,
Now you can see the contents.
I see the content, but I cannot click here. It is transparent.
Click on that content. Come like this.
I try to click, but it is not possible. I don't know why. I see content, but
Hmm.
button content is transparent.
Okay. This is how your database table and entries are looking like. Now you want to create an entry. So go to, if you want to create an entry in the table,
Yes.
table entry, then create student ID. What is your name, address, Cameroon, city?
Yaoundé or Yaoundé YA.
So you have successfully created your entry. Alfred Cameroon Dollar current student. Okay. So if I want to fetch your name only, so I will type Alfred here only. So your entry is coming, not all the things. Okay.
Okay, I see.
So this is how we can create our database table. You can check. Okay.
Okay.
You have to add the entries. You have to go here. You can add your table entries from here. Create entries. Now
Okay.
if you want to change the entry, then you can change it also. Okay.
Okay.
So this is how we are going to create a table, database table. So what we have learned, database table, fields, data elements, domains, and creating an entry. Okay.
Yes.
So can you try this creating one table, same table?
Yes, I will try to create table.
So this is your assignment, create a table. You can take the reference of this Z student and try to
Yes.
create your own. Okay.
Okay, no
This is your
problem.
assignment.
Okay, I will do it.
Okay, then we'll see the view data types type group in our next session. Okay, now I think it's 1 hour. So create this data table and show me. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So have you
Yeah,
ever worked on SAP, or have you ever? Yeah, you are working. That's great. So you are working on SAP itself or on technical part.
technical part.
Okay, so you are working on technical part. That's very great. It's very nice to know that you are still working on this technical part. I think that would be easy for you to understand what SAP today, what I plan to cover. That I'll just make you understand what is SAP and what is ERP and what is the use of ERP, why we need SAP. So these are the things to cover on this, and what's the overview of SAP and what are the different modules SAP is providing, right? So SAP is a software company. So it is started in 1972 in Germany. So SAP in a broad, see, the first lesson which I want to give you is that we never spoke SAP. We always say
Yeah.
SAP. If you are working in SAP, and if you are a fresher, suppose after a period of time you met someone in an interview and you told that I am working on SAP. So outrightly you will be rejected because it's SAP, not SAP. Most of the people confuse, abruptly says it's SAP, but there is nothing called SAP. It's SAP, right? So the
Ah,
first lesson,
okay.
this is
If
the
if
first
it
lesson I just want to give. Yeah, it's SAP. Never call it SAP. In future, never call it. If you say it's SAP, it's very good. So SAP is the ERP software. That is the smaller things that is of no use, just to make you understand that this is a European multinational company founded in 1972, right? They develop software
yeah.
solution for managing business operation and customer relationship. Now, what is ERP? So, could you please let me know what is ERP, what you are getting, what you are clicking, if you just came to know what is ERP? See, ERP in a nutshell, what I can explain to you, ERP is enterprise resource and planning. So, if there is any enterprise of, if there is any production unit, so there are several small departments, and we have to handle those departments to make a better company. Means to make a company run, we have to handle small departments. On the club effect of that, the company will run, right? So let us talk about not nowadays, previously what was happening in the era of 1950 or 1960s, at the time of 1970s. Let us talk about that time. At that time, what happens, see, in any production unit or in any big enterprises, we are having these broader departments. One is the sales department that focuses on the sales of the product that we manufacture, that an enterprises manufacture. Another one is inventory, finance, HR, production. There are so many small departments that varies based on the enterprise, the type of the enterprise, right? So previously what happened, my screen is visible, right? I'm scrolling down, so is it visible to you?
Yes.
Yeah. So previously what happened, see, I have created some scenarios for you to make you understand that what's the use of ERP, why we adopted, why we moved towards SAP, right? So previously what was happening and what was the issue the enterprise was facing, and then the SAP will born. So I just want to explain you the need why the SAP born. So previously what happened, see, if you read one by one, if I'm reading for you, just understand that previously prior in 1960 or 1970s 80s, what was happened, suppose this is a scenario, any client contact the sales team to check the availability. Suppose is there any client and they just want to purchase a product from an enterprises who is manufacturing any product. So what happens, they will directly contact the sales team because sales team is specialized in selling the product, right? So client will directly call the sales team to purchase some product. So previously what happened, sales team has to approach the inventory department. They have to check the availability of the product, whether the product is in the stock or it's out of the stock, right? Then after inventory department, the sales team may approach the production planning department if it is out of a stock to manufacture the product. If product is available, then the inventory department will move it to the sales department. Then inventory department may again contact the production planning department to purchase the raw material. So there's a very troublesome process, right? And once the goods had been sold by the sales department to the client, then sales department has to contact to the finance department to update the invoice that what has been generated, and finance department has to take the amount from the client, right? So these are the small departments and they are so disconnected, so it's very tough to understand to communicate between both the departments. Typical business scenario, if you are talking about in any country, in any region, if you are having a manufacturing company, let us say I'm taking an example of a shoe company, that's a manufacturing company, right? So if we are having any manufacturing company, as just I told previously, it has many business units, or we can say small departments. So they previously what happened that they have to communicate from one department to another department, another to another to another. So it's a long chain. Any department has to communicate to any department. There was no way they can simply contact in a one click, right? So what was the disadvantage, we will see. So previously there were, so based on this manner we can divide enterprises on two way: decentralized system and centralized system. So as the name suggests itself, what is decentralized means everything is cluttersome and there is no centralization, there is no control over that, just like previously happened before the ERP, before the SAP was born. Every system, every manufacturing company, and every department was decentralized. There was not any single system where on a single click any owner or anyone can understand, anyone can communicate to all the departments on a real time. So decentralized system. Now if we talk about centralized system, there comes an ERP. So how ERP is born, so you understand what's the need, means why there was a need of ERP. There was a need of ERP because it was very difficult to communicate between various departments, right? So there was a need to generate one system. That's why SAP came into the picture, and they have generated SAP ERP and they provided SAP ERP solution. So what they have provided, they provide a centralized system. They you can understand, suppose it's a big company, they have put one server in the middle, and through that server they can communicate with all the departments easily. So this is the one by one I'll explain you. So in a nutshell, I explain you what was the disadvantage of the decentralized system. Because of these major problems, we have to move towards the SAP solution. So there were two major problems that were faced by the decentralized system. One, data is maintained locally at the individual department, and department don't have access to information or data from other departments, right? There was also redundancy of data. There was also redundancy of data. Suppose I am having an invoice of 100 units of product, 100 unit of shoes. So that invoice details has been maintained by sales department. That invoice details also has to maintain by the finance department to generate the revenue, to collect the revenue from the client, right? And that invoice may have be present at the production planning department also, because they have to forecast the production accordingly, they have to update their stocks. So means that one single invoice, three departments are maintaining the entries. So there was redundancy of data too. So there was various problems. So if we are talking about a small factory or a small organization, it can be maintained. I'm not saying it was easy, but it can be maintained at some level. But if you are talking about a bigger company, just like Baker Hughes or Airbus, if they are having several plants across the globe, not in one country, not in one particular area, if they are having several plants over the globe, around the globe, so what then this system will have? So this was a basic issue with the decentralized system. So now in the centralized system, that's the beauty of the centralized system. So these are some disadvantages. No real time inventory information. There was no real time inventory information. This is a guy who is calling to purchase some products. They have to communicate to the sales department. Then sales department has no real time inventory information. That was a major drawback. So there are some scenarios also explained to you. Till this point, are you getting what is decentralized system and why there was a need of SAP ERP? Till here, any question to you?
Okay, it is okay for me. I see your screen.
Okay, that's great. Great. Just say okay. That would be enough for me to make me believe that you are getting good point. Don't make it as a one-way channel. I just want it to be a two-way channel, right? So that you
Okay,
understand if there is any query, just stop me in the middle. Don't wait for me to complete it. If there is any query, just stop me. If you are not getting any point, just stop me there itself.
okay, no problem. I will stop you if I don't understand.
Okay. So what will happen in the decentralized process if sales inventory, if that information is not updated, means the sales department has to communicate to the production planning department, to the inventory department. So what happens sometimes, it may result in the loss of revenue and customer dissatisfaction. How? Means how can we say that? Suppose if there is an emergency, suppose any client got a instant order, that instant order of 500 shoes, they have to fulfill it on the next day. So client has to purchase raw material from some industry, and they directly contact to the sales department that they want 500 pair of raw material. So then sales department has to contact to the inventory department, again has they have to check to the production planning department. So previously what happened, it may take 2 to 3 days. So in that case, in that scenario, client will move to another organization and they procure product from that organization. So that was the major problem with the decentralization process: loss of revenue and customer dissatisfaction. Customer was not satisfied in that case. Same is this case, and the labor cost also increases. Just I told you that redundant data is stored, so labor costs will also increase. So these are some of the major problems with the decentralized system. We have numerous information system created individually over time which are difficult to maintain. Integrating the data is time and time consuming. So once in a year all the departments sit together and they just consolidate all the data to prepare the balance sheet or profit loss statement. So at that time integration of data was very time consuming, and the resources were also getting waste, and there was inconsistency and duplication of data, right? So these are some of the major drawbacks that was faced by the decentralized system. Now comes in the picture centralized system. Now we will understand what is the centralized system, what is the beauty of centralized system, and how it helps to overcome the drawbacks of the decentralized system. So in a company with a centralized system of information and data management, data is maintained at a central location, and that is being shared by other departments, means other small units, business units, that is being shared by other small units. So departments have access to information or data from other departments. Means suppose A department has to contact to the D department. So the chain was previously like A to B, B to C, and C to D. So that was the communication process previously. But with the
I have
centralized
question,
system,
please.
yes, yes,
Yes, I want to know if you are in the HR department, you can see the information of the finance department. You
yes.
you said department have access to information or data from other departments. I want to know if
Hmm.
I am in human resource department, I can see the information or data from the finance department.
You just want to know how you can gather the data from one department to another department, right?
I don't ask how I can know. I want to know if it is possible to see the information from another department, from other department.
Yes, yes. See, what happened previously in the decentralized system, what happened is that suppose any person in the human resource department, if they want to see the data of the sales department, so anyone has to go there first. They have to seek permission from the owner that whether he is accessible to check the data or not. So that way it was a very big process. But with the centralized system, any department can see the data of the other department. That is the first thing. But now SAP has its beauty itself. Some of the data which is not affecting anyone, that can be viewed by anyone. Just like if you are talking about the inventory, means the stock status. Suppose I am having 100 and day to day it got changed. Suppose next it's 120, another day it's 250. So that is visible to all the department. But if there is any confidential data related to that department, so that would not be visible to other departments. But again, if other department want to access those data, so they must have permissions or credentials to access those data. So what's the beauty of this centralized system? It can access the data, it can even access the confidential data of the other department if they are having the rights, if they are having the permissions. So who will provide the permission? The owner will provide the permissions based on the business scenario. If there is any scenario, suppose owner is out of the company most of the time, so they have delegated one person, they can overlook all the tasks of the all the department. So owner has provided the permission to that person, so he can check the data, he can access the data of all other departments, but not a simple or regular guy can access the data of all the departments if there is any confidential data. So what happened with the centralized system? The revenue is increased and customer get delighted. Means now the customer is happy. In this case, whenever the customer click on the sales department, now sales department need not to wait for 2 to 3 days to get a feedback from the inventory department or the production planning department or the manufacturing unit. He can sales department can simply go click on the ERP system and he can access the data. He can check the status of the inventory. He can check the status of the production planning. And based on the response he get from this centralized system ERP, he responded quickly within a means bit of 5 seconds. The sales department can quickly respond back to the client that yes, we are having the product, we can deliver it to you as soon as possible as you require. So even if a customer call you over the night at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock that I just need 500 units of your product, then sales department can simply click on the centralized system, get the details and simply generate an invoice and deliver the quantity. So over the night this process happened because of centralized system. And previously sales department say that this is the time for sleep, just let me sleep and you also sleep. So in
Wait,
this case, so yes.
can you come back before this page? I see
Yes,
vendor.
yes.
I want to know what is vendor. Yes.
See, vendor, you can relate it to the transportation part. There are different meanings of these vendors. Suppose here in this picture, vendor relates to the raw material supplier. In any unit, whenever you manufacturing something, we have to purchase raw material for that. So that raw material has been provided by the vendor. Suppose I am having a bulk
Okay.
order of I have to produce 10,000 unit, but I don't have the raw material. So within a click, sales department can directly contact to the vendor that we have to procure 10,000 unit as soon as possible as I have to deliver the product.
Okay, I understand.
In this case, all departments when we connect to the centralized system. So if you just read one by one, we just have a real time information. What we understand from the real time information is that let us suppose an example, sales department has generated an invoice for 100 units. So that means suppose my current stock is 500 units, so that will come down to 400 units, right? Because sales department has sold 100 units. Now if we talk about the inventory department, it will previously it was taking 1 to 2 days to update that quantity in the stock. So now with the centralized system, whenever on a single click, whenever the sales department decreases the stock from 500 to 400, thus at the same time inventory department can also check that now yes, the quantity has been decreased from 500 to 400. So that is the meaning of real time information. Means if at 12 o'clock in the night somebody has updated or increased or decreased the quantity, it will reflect it in all the departments at the same time. That is the real time information access. And we have increased revenue and customer delight any day. If we are providing a quick service, definitely customer will be happy and definitely revenue will be increased. And production planning, this is the important department. Production planning department is a very important department in any organization and it's a neglected department in even in SAP ABAP itself in technical part also ever means it's a very neglected department, but that is a very important department. Production planning department, that is auto updated. Means I just in the previous example, if you can relate it to that, production planning department can easily understand on a single click that whether my inventory got increased or decreased, and they can predict the future. They can predict the production planning and they can prepare the planning accordingly. And the duplication of data is avoided and accurate data is made available. And similar way, labor cost also goes down. And the best part for a organization or any enterprises, everything at the end of the day comes on the revenue part. So whenever a sales department generated an invoice and sales 100 units, at the same time finance department got an update that we have to collect the revenue from that client, so the payments are made on time and there will be a no issue of the legal action. So these are the key benefits of centralized system. Just look over the and let me know if you are facing any issue in the key benefits, if you are not getting any point in that. It eliminates the duplication, redundancy in data, provide information across department in real time. That is important in real time. Eliminates the duplication. It provides better control over all the business processes. Productivity will increase. Inventory management process will be better. It promotes quality, reduce material cost, effective HR management, reduce overheads, boost profit, better customer interaction, a centralized system. Okay, so I'll move further.
Okay, it is okay.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the sheet what I have prepared. So again, now I'll make you understand what is ERP. If I'll explain in the starting what is SAP, what is ERP, you may or may not understand, because I just don't know. I just make you understand from the scratch. I am believing that you know nothing about SAP, and I will prepare brick by brick, day by day. I'll just make your understanding better. I'll try that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
ERP, yeah. So ERP, that is, this is a software. Previous to that, we just talk about the manufacturing units. For an explanation, I just restrict you to make understand that is applicable only to the manufacturing unit. But that is not the case. ERP can be implemented by any department or any organization that is having more than two or more department. If you're having single department, there is not an any use of the SAP ERP. If there is a small shop in your town, what's the use of implementing ERP? He's the owner and he know all the details, right? So in the
Yes.
shop owner need not to implement SAP ERP system, because there is no use of SAP ERP. SAP ERP is effective when you are having two or more than two departments that you have to correlate. You have to communicate between those departments on a real time basis. So these are the broader things which the ERP package is provided. It is ERP packages designed to support and integrate almost every functional area of the business processes, such as procurement of goods and services, sales and distribution, finance, accountings, human resource, manufacturing, production planning, logistic, warehouse management, and many more. Not till here, day by day SAP is growing, and day by day, based on the need, SAP is generating new models. So this is a planning and execution. What's the process? Distribution, marketing, finance, sales, HR, engineering, material manufacturing, all are correlated. When all will function well, then only this vehicle will move. If there is any issue in any of the department related to data or related to any other issue, this circle will stop, and your car will stop or your engine will stop. So this, to make this circle move, to make this tire move, all department has to communicate in a better way. So regardless of the industry, just I told you, anyone can implement this SAP software. So what's the advantage? Business process integration. Now these are the terms which you may understand, which you have to understand actually. So now it may be clear to you that what is business process integration. It allows automation of business processes, integration of system and services, secure sharing of data across numerous applications, automation of management, operational and supporting processes. Now I just explain you how ERP is evolved. So what happened, SAP has provided R2 and R3 system. I'll come to that one later on. First, I'll explain you what ERP performs the following functions. What are the functions
Okay.
in a nutshell provided by an ERP system? It supports the integrated business processes, improves planning, and helps in execution. It quickly helps in decision making process. Suppose an owner is present in the factory and he is having 10 departments under him, and he has to make some decision. So previously in a decentralized system, he has to call the heads of all the department and in a conference room, and these 10 heads along with the owner, they will sit, they provide their inputs, and based on the inputs, owner has to take decisions in front of the next person. But with the centralized system, there is no need to call these 10 department heads. Owner can directly access the information of all the 10 departments in a single click. See, so in this way, they can identify what are the operational risks. It provides protection against organization data. It makes the organization adaptable to the changes that he has to make in the business processes. So ultimately, it gives a long-term profit and it will increase the customer base. So this is the ERP model. Suppose let us assume that owner is sitting in the middle. So now in
Yeah.
the middle, if owner is sitting, he can access production in a single click, in a single click HR, in a single click planning, in a single click inventory, in a single click reporting, CRM, sales and marketing, in a similar way, finance and accounting. So it will save time of all the department heads, and it will also save the times of the owner. And apart from the saving of the time, it also helps in making a quick decision. So these are the broader areas in which ERP, when it started, it start working on that. Whenever when SAP launches an ERP system, so these are the broader units were there at present at that time, broader units. Later on, based on the requirement, SAP has disintegrated these units into other smaller units also. So these are the financial accounting that deals with the financial transaction. Another one broader, that module was human resource, that deals with related to the employee, that what's the position, what's the status of the employee, when he'll join, when he on leave. Again, customer relationship management, sales and distribution, logistics, warehouse management, manufacturing, material management, change management, business intelligence. So these are the broader modules on which SAP ERP has implemented. So what is the advantage? Again, this is the sheet I have prepared. Again and again, I am writing the same thing to make you understand. I just don't
Mm.
want that I am explaining and I am scrolling down and you just forgot. This is for your mesmerizing again and again. So, what's the advantages? We can simply say it saves time. It allows faster decision making, single data source, sharing of data, tracking each and every transaction, supplies real time information, synchronized information. So, these are some of the advantages. Now, tell me, if you understand ERP, we are having some advantages. Do you think is there any disadvantages? Do you think is there any disadvantages of ERP? You understand
Yes,
ERP, right? Till now,
yes, yes,
you
yes,
have.
yes. Understand. I see
Ye-
advantages of EFP. Now I want to see disadvantages because when I speak with the person who use the EFP, they said it is more expensive.
Right, you are absolutely right.